In this session, we'll be looking at the chapter Animal Husbandry and Plant Breeding So this chapter, what we are focusing on is to understand these two concepts related to basically looking for alternate source of food or as an aspect of producing more food sources for humans. So what are the core objectives of these two aspects? I'm not so keen on discussing in detail about the different parts of these animal husbandry and plant breeding right now, because in the following sessions we will have a brief discussion about the different parts related to these two aspects, because it is not required beyond that point for you all to understand. So why we need to know about animal husbandry and plant breeding? So before going to understand that, let's try to have a look at the perspective of this animal husbandry and plant breeding in terms of how it has developed over a period of time. So initially, if you look at the evolutionary perspective of human civilization, earlier humans used to be hunters or gatherers, right? So gradually, when they settled down, they started carrying out agriculture. Along with agriculture, they also, because they used animals, so they looked at domestication of animals and their rearing. And this is the first animal husbandry. Okay? The rearing of animals or keeping animals for the benefit of humans. And over a period of time, it has taken or evolved into different areas which are beneficial to the human being. So is what happened in case of plant breeding as well. So let's look at some of the key objectives or common objectives of these two in this session. So the core objectives related to these two are: one, they are looked as alternate sources of food. So more and more animals are explored, their rearing has been done, and also more and more techniques in plant breeding has been looked at as an alternate source for food. Whatever food materials that we are having, some alternate source to support that, so that the pressure on crop production will reduce. Do you all agree with me or not? Yes. The second aspect that what I look at is very interesting, which is related to a technique of higher food production or higher food productivity. The different methods they use so that the productivity increase so as to meet the demand of present population, demand of growing population, isn't it? Growing population, because the population is an ever increasing structure. If you look at Malthus' theory, what he says is that food production or food productivity generally increases in the form of arithmetic progression, while human population or organisms grow based on the method of geometric production. They multiply. So for that reason, food production or looking at different sources of food production is very important for humans. It is also looked as one of the key area to strengthen your financial gain or economic standard of living. So to strengthen economic standards. Now, it's not only economic standard of the personal or the only one person. It generally reflects on the nation as well, or for the country as well. How? If I am a producer of certain animal husbandry product, okay, and if I am exporting that, or if I am using it nationwide, then definitely I am contributing to the incoming funds or financial condition of the country as well. So that's how it is, or it can be seen as one of the major area of producing food material, or producing, or getting financial betterment, or to get better economic standards, isn't it? Similarly, it also emphasized on obtaining to obtain better quality of food, which is rich with nutrients, which is rich with disease free. So quality of product is also increased because of the method that is followed in animal husbandry or plant. So it has got manifold uses in our day-to-day life. Then what happens in case of plant breeding? These are definitely for both animal husbandry and plant breeding. But plant breeding, in case of plant breeding, the things that are looked at are something like this. That plants are basically also looked as or used to provide disease-resistant variety. That means the methods that are being followed in plant breeding are very importantly used for disease-resistant variety or drought-resistant variety. That means with less water also it can be useful. Looked at increased value of nutrients. For example, the golden rice, which contains or which is rich in vitamin A, which is very helpful for humans. It is also to increase crop productivity. The best example is green revolution, and we are looking at specific type of food material with specific type of genes in them through genetically modified crops or GM crops or other aspects as well. I know it is debatable, but these are the advancements that has been happened in case of plant breeding as well. So overall, if you look at both the aspects of animal husbandry and plant breeding, the major thrust is on high productivity, meeting the demand of people, and as well as for economical gains or financial gains. Okay, then the question here is one more point I have left over. Left it here is also conservation. Animal husbandry and plant breeding are both for conservation of specific breeds or specific varieties. Why? Because they are useful. They are the ones which contain the genes which are very useful for us. Then what are the things that we'll be looking at in this chapter for our understanding? Let's look at those. In animal husbandry, we will basically focus on development of animal husbandry as an industry, how animal husbandry has developed as an industry and its uses. We will look at animal husbandry, different aspects of animal husbandry through dairy farming. These are the examples. Okay, this is related to production of milk and milk products. We will look at apiculture, use of honeybees, rearing of honeybees for our benefit. Okay, and honeybee are very important indirectly or directly, you can say, for production of crops, or production of food material, because they are the major players of pollination in flowering plants. So they are very useful to us as well. We will be looking at poultry, that is rearing of fowls. Okay, so this also has boomed as an industry for meat, that is for chicken as well as for eggs. And if you are exporting them, then definitely you are obtaining a lot of amount of financial gains as well. We will also look at aquaculture, or simply it can be called as pisciculture for fish production, prawn culture for prawn, crab like etc. substances, and oyster culture for pearls, and this is not related to food material but for economic values. So overall, if you look at these are the things that we'll be discussing in animal husbandry, and we will look at these aspects in brief and how are they useful, what are the techniques might be used, and how beneficial they are for us. While in plant breeding, the aspects that we will be looking at will be, in case of plant breeding, the various aspects that we'll be looking at is single cell protein, very essential for obtaining protein and using it as a source of food material. We will look at different aspects of tissue culture and their benefits for us. We will look at suspension culture, okay, and how it is used for getting better varieties. We will look at embryo culture, cultivation and culture of embryos that can be used and that can give a desired result. Okay, so all these different techniques will also be discussed slightly in brief for our understanding, and then we will look at how these are useful or are used by us for our better health. So humans have explored both plants as well as animals for food since evolution obviously, and also for over a period of time scientifically developing them for better use of these particular varieties. So I hope you have understood about the different aspects.